way. 400 verses, root text. Chapter 11. 251, the present pot and the past one do not exist in the future pot, since both would be future. The future would not exist. 252, if a disintegrated thing exists as a future entity in the future, how can what is future in nature become that which is past? 253, because of being future in nature, a future functional thing is thus present and cannot be future. 254, if the future, past and present exist, what does not exist? How can there be impermanence for one for whom all times exist?
255, if it has passed beyond the past, why is it the past? If it has not passed beyond the past, why is it the past? 255, if it has passed beyond the past, why is it the past? If it has not passed beyond the past, why is it the past? 257, if the future is impermanent because, though not produced, it disintegrates, since the past does not disintegrate, why not consider it permanent? 258, if the past and present are not impermanent, the third which is different from these is also not.
259, if a thing which will be produced later exists beforehand, the contention of naitivitans is not erroneous. 260, to say something which will be made to occur already exists is unreasonable. If that which exists is produced, what has been produced will arise again. 261, if future things are seen, why is the non-existent not seen? For one for whom the future exists, there can be no distant time. 262, if virtue exists though nothing is done, resolute restraint is meaningless. If even a little is done, the effect cannot exist. 263, if they are impermanent, how can it be said effects exist? That which has a beginning and end is called impermanent in the world. 264, liberation will occur without exertion. For the liberated there is no future. Or otherwise, if this were so, desire would arise without attachment.
265, for those who assert effects exist, and for those who assert effects do not exist, adornments like pillars and so forth, for a home are purposeless. 266, the transformation of things also is not perceived even by the mind. Those who lack wisdom, nevertheless, think that the present exists. 267, how can there be things with no duration? Being impermanent, how can they endure? If they had duration first, they would not grow old in the end. 268, just as a single consciousness cannot apprehend two objects, similarly, two consciousnesses cannot apprehend one object. 269, if time has duration, duration is not time. If it has not, without duration, there will also be no end. 270, if impermanence and things are separate, things are not impermanent. If one, since things are precisely that which is impermanent, how can they have duration? 270, if impermanence and things are separate, things are not impermanent. If one, since things are precisely that which is impermanent, how can they have duration? 272, if impermanence is not weaker and is present in all things, none of them will have duration. Or not all are impermanent.
273, if there is always impermanence, there cannot always be duration. Or else that which was permanent later becomes impermanent. 274, if things have duration and impermanence together, either it is wrong that things are impermanent, or duration is a fallacy. 275, things seen do not reappear, nor does awareness arise again. Thus, memory is in fact deceived with regard to a deceptive object.